again, sizing up Murphy. Drives, floats, hangs, and scores on the turnaround. J-Dub way behind the three-point line and hits way behind the three-point line. Got blocked. What a rejection by Holmgren. Standing tall like a wall.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast, coming to you live Sunday, March 16th at 11 p.m. Central Time. It is your boys' bedtime, but here we are recording an Uncontested Podcast. Thank you guys for joining. I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. Got another Jacob in here, JD Silva.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to mute you for the rest of the night for doing that. We've got Justin Peabody.
Hello, everybody.
We have Taylor T.P. Peterson.
Bucks.
Can I get a sound drop real quick?
Thought that was one. Bucks.
Thank you.
Sounds identical.
I was going to say that was a pretty good.
Can I get a big old rack too?
Big old rack. You can get whatever you. Big old rack.
We also have Nick Crane himself here.
For my intro, Taylor, can you run that back one more time?
Big old rack. I tell you what.
Wow. The bonus content version.
Good.
There was a sound drop we needed to pick up the other day. I can't remember. Oh, it was Shay saying what did Shay say post game last night when he was yelling at Lindy?
Get in here, mother effer.
Yeah,
Something along those lines.
We need that sound drop. The Thunder just defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 121-105. We're going to jump into that on the Sega Baba of the Thunder beating the Detroit Pistons at the Little Caesars Arena. I would like everybody to know that I ordered Little Caesars to eat during the Detroit game, and I spent all day feeling like a hot, steaming pile of garbage. I have felt miserable literally all day. My stomach has been so upset. It's been horrible. If you haven't already, you should join our Patreon. There's a QR code up in the top left corner of your screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, patreon.com/theuncontested. We're coming up to the end of the season. We do give you guys 2 bonus pods per month on the Patreon, access to the Discord, and for that Detroit game, we hosted another virtual watch party in the Discord. We had a lot of fun. We watched cars hitting a bridge for our halftime entertainment. It was
the best.
It was high quality entertainment. So I would encourage you to join that. I'm sure the playoffs are going to be a pretty entertaining time in that Discord. So I would encourage you guys to join that. Did I say we're brought to you by Blue Wire Podcast? I don't know if I said that. We're also brought to you by Prairie Artisan Ales, which is super cool. Anybody drinking a Prairie tonight?
It's past my bedtime, but I was drinking a delightful buzzer beater earlier.
That's bad.
Never misses.
Brand.
Listen, I can't be cracking a fresh beer at 11 p.m. on a work night.
When you drink alcohol, there's this thing called a hangover the next day, and the earlier you shut it down the night before, the better the chance that you don't feel like crap the next morning.
Nick, didn't you at one point have a hangover cure that you sent in the group chat to JD?
This is true.
And could
Yes.
you rehash that, please?
It's undefeated.
I will put it in the Discords if you want to know the ultimate hangover cure. Subscribe to
There you
Patreon.
go. There you go.
It does
Last
work every
Sunday-
time, though.
Businessman
business.
Nick Crane. That's incredible.
Last Sunday,
I'm over here giving it away for free.
Speaking of Patreon, we said we'd give away some pizza to a new Patreon subscriber.
This is taking me back to the OG days.
Right?
when
It's
we did
getting
that
back to our
pizza
roots.
deliveries.
Do we have that sounder somewhere?
What?
We did on the
pizza
old
sounder.
soundboard.
I think it's in the Google Drive. You guys talk. I'll find it.
Well, anyway, we got a handful of new Patreon subscribers this week, and I'm going to spin a wheel, and we're going to give away a pizza. Okay?
Like a physical wheel or like a virtual one?
A virtual one.
Before you spin it, brother, here we go. Throwing back to the early
Yes,
days.
please.
It's gonna have and this audio is coming straight through my microphone, so don't judge.
Nothing.
Master Splinter, perhaps you'd like to try some pizza. It's marshmallow and pepperoni.
We've come a long ways.
That's amazing.
We've come a long ways.
That's gold. What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm gonna spin. You guys can't hear it, but it's making a delightful sound effect. I should have shared my screen. Anyway, you're just sources, trust me, bro. Shadow R. Shadow R is the winner of the Patreon Pizza P word synonym for giveaway
Isn't that the shadower?
prize. What?
The shadower.
Shadower. I didn't know. Like, I don't know. I wasn't trying to air out everybody's last names on a live stream just in case. So we're going Severance style. Shadow R. I'll be DMing you, and we'll get you some pizza. Thanks for subbing to the Patreon.
Hopefully that will was a cut more even than a Little Caesars pizza is cut.
My Little Caesars pizza was cut well, and then just made me feel like garbage. Also, Taylor looks like he's podcasting from the cave they found Osama bin Laden in. The Thunder
Really?
defeated the Bucks tonight. Yeah, it's dark in there, brother.
Huh.
You need to turn that light up. 121, 105. What are you laughing at, Nick?
It's not dark for me.
I
don't
feel
know
like
what
he
I
looks
thought.
all right.
Oh,
It's
maybe
super bright for me.
Oh,
Neither.
Are
Nick,
you getting cataracts?
Might be.
No.
Nick's in the Sims room.
I am.
Yeah, the Sims room is
This
well
is
lit.
high quality podcasting.
This is the severed space.
The
You
what?
severed, you severed Nick right now?
I am.
Taylor P, Nick C.
Any Nick or outie Nick?
Jacob hasn't watched Severance yet. We need to get him on it.
Yeah, not happening.
fine.
121, 105. The Thunder defeat the Milwaukee Bucks, gentlemen. And what I might argue, I might argue that 2 of the 3 wins this week were 2 of the best wins of the season for the Thunder. The game in Boston and the game in Milwaukee. Tonight, down Jalen Williams, down Lou Dort with a hip injury. I don't know what it is with hips in
Hips,
Oklahoma
man.
City,
They don't lie.
but they do not lie. And I would also
Someone get
ask you all,
Shakira at a game for
uh,
multiple reasons.
Anybody want to sing the line for the pod so we can get a
The-
sound drop? The hips don't lie line
Oh
in the
boy.
Shakira voice.
No,
Once,
no, I don't.
going twice.
I don't want to put that on tape.
No Jalen Williams, no Lou Dort. A sick Aaron Wiggins who shot back-to-back air balls, and the Thunder still come out with a 16-point win. It was as high as a 25-point lead in the second half. The Thunder held the Bucks to 15 second quarter points, 105 on the game. The Bucks shooting percentage tonight, 39% from the field, 38% from 3. They shot 79% on their 33 field goal or free throw attempts, which is absurd. But just an incredible game, an incredible road trip, all things considered, with everybody injured and sitting and resting. Nick, your big takeaway from the Bucks game tonight?
We talk a lot about health and rest entering the playoffs. This is one of those games where you see some really tired dudes down the stretch, notably Shea. Just makes me think maybe these last 14 games you shouldn't play as many guys as you might want to, despite the league thinking that you're trying to cheat by winning by almost 20 while sitting your guys against the Portland Trail Blazers. More of that, please.
Yeah, I
think,
agree.
I think the Blazers should be investigated. Justin, take away from this game tonight.
Yeah, it's easy to look at a guy like Shea who's just absolutely cooking people as he continually does, as he's done all season. It's what's put him in the MVP conversation. But the guy that really caught my eye tonight was Alex Caruso. That man was on demon time at so many moments tonight. The play shortly after he got called for a foul on Dame, where he just snatched the ball right out of Dame's hands, took it the other way, and spearheaded a fast break. He was everywhere. And the nights where he's in that mode, the potential of this team, as if it wasn't already obvious, just takes takes to another level for me. When Alex Caruso is affecting the game as much as he is on defense and putting in solid numbers on the offensive end of the floor, 4 of 6 shooting tonight, 10 points. He's such an integral piece of this team. You start to see why Lakers fans were like, making insane claims about him when he was on their team, because the guy just takes care of business.
Anyone want to sing that line for a sound drop?
Is this the uncontested karaoke pod?
Going twice. JD, what was your big takeaway from
I
tonight's
thought you
game?
were calling on me to sing.
JD, bust out in song, please.
No. If I had a couple prairies, maybe, but not now. Not now.
What would you sing if you had a couple of prairies? What would be the first song you would sing willingly?
That's a good question. Maybe some Nickelback.
Oh, what?
Classic karaoke.
Look, I'm
Not what I expected.
We have a Nickelback song.
maybe some Limp Biscuit. I don't know.
You heard it here first. JD did
I've
all for the
I've never
Nick.
done karaoke.
You've never done karaoke like at all?
Neither have I.
Well, I've been drunk when I've done it, so it's it's never.
Oh no, that
never done it
counts.
normally.
None of us have done it sober.
Yeah,
Who goes to
Well-
karaoke sober?
Correct.
correct.
Oh
Anyway,
my
back to the
gosh.
game. My takeaway: double bigs works. My God, Chet and Ihart dominated this game front to back. Hartenstein scored a career high 24 points. Chet and Ihart running 2-man actions together all game. Just looked incredible. Really, really limited Giannis of all people. Giannis ended up finishing with 21 points. A lot of those were scored late. Brutal stuff that the Thunder unleashed onto the Bucks. I was highly, highly impressed, and it just goes to show that this Thunder team can win any way they want to win. Like, there are 6 different ways I can think of, like archetypes of what a Thunder game can look like and formulas to win. They didn't even have their second All-Star tonight, and they still won. It was absurd. And I believe in the double big.
Double bigs were awesome. Ihart tonight, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 11 of 15 from the floor. Chet with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and just the chemistry that we're seeing between the two continue to develop. Like some of the passes that each of them had to one another. I think about that play. I think it was in the third quarter. Maybe it was early fourth, but Chet drives down into the paint, gets double teamed, does a wraparound pass to a cutting Ihart for a slam dunk. I mean, the chemistry is off the charts, and it didn't take very long. Feels like 2 weeks ago we were talking about, should the Thunder actually start the double bigs come playoff time? And now we're seeing, as they played more minutes together, they're just getting more and more comfortable, even quicker than I think that they would. So really impressive stuff from each of them.
What was fun tonight was you had the double big starting and Kenrich.
Yep.
That's a
Jumbo
long boy lineup. Like compared to what we've seen for most of this season, that's way more length than the Thunder often have on the floor at once. And it was interesting. I think it shows, to your point, Taylor, the versatility that this team has and the options that they have of different types of lineups to roll out there. I love, when you have a 13-game lead on second place, you can afford to get weird with it down the stretch and throw out some new lineups and gather more data points and try new things out. And I think this probably won't be the last of the new lineups or combinations that we see.
I will say, so Kenrich Williams started the past 2 games. Obviously, the Thunder are shorthanded on a road trip. I forget what the stat was. Michael Cage ratted it out, or rattled it off. Ratted it out.
It's like, what?
Doing my best Michael Cage impersonation.
What?
But the Thunder have played like a ridiculous amount of away games. Haven't been home since All-Star break it really is crazy. They're also playing their 3rd game in 4 nights tonight. Second night of a back-to-back. And for them to I lost my thought now. That's what the words.
There's some nonsense taking place in the
Kenrich
chat.
Williams. I think inserting him into the starting lineup the past 2 games when the Thunder are shorthanded kind of gives them that energy boost that they really needed both of these games, both last night and tonight. Tonight, K Rich, not incredibly efficient. 3 from the 4, but 6 rebounds, 5 assists, just makes things happen. I thought he was kind of the perfect player to insert into those starting lineups the past 2 nights.
You guys are talking about the 2 bigs, and I want to circle the wagons back there for a second. Combined for 40 points and 20 rebounds and 17 of 24 from the field against a Bucks team. I don't know why that comment's up there. Against a Bucks team that has Giannis and Brook Lopez. Like, that's incredibly impressive. Taylor had mentioned the chemistry between those two. It's not Chet to iHeart. It's also iHeart to Chet. They feel like 2 guys who have very similar basketball brains that when they get on the court, they just click. Some guys, it takes a long time to find that chemistry. And some dudes, it just clicks. It's just meant to be. And so those 2 have been incredibly impressive. I've said it for a long time. Hartenstein's the best passer on this team, and it's not necessarily close. He had, I don't know if you guys remember this because it didn't result in a bucket. Was it the second quarter? He had an offensive rebound, turned away from the basket, and threw a no-look over his shoulder to a cutting Kenny. Kenny smoked the layup, but the pass was filthy. He has such a knack, and I know Nick had tweeted this. I had tweeted something about it as well. I remember the first month of the season, and people were worried about Isaiah Joe and trying to shoot those DHO threes off of Hartenstein, and it wasn't clicking. Nick, the 2-man game between Hartenstein and Isaiah Joe has flourished into something beautiful that I think is going to pay massive dividends for the bench of this team come the playoffs. And it's not just DHOs for threes. It's how they come off that action to roll and drive and pop and pick. They're so good at it. Nick, what are you seeing from those 2?
Yeah, the DHO stuff is simple and it's taken time to work, but it's a lot of this. Like the best play to describe it tonight was like the Hartenstein wanted the DHO to Joe. He couldn't, so he passes it to him on the wing. He passes it back, then he back cuts for a layup. I think the most interesting part of that's going to be the secondary action of the playoffs when teams have seen that play and they've seen some of the stuff we've seen. So a help side defender is going to have to cut off Isaiah Joe on the back cut, beating somebody back door. Someone else rotates up wide open 3. The levels that we're going to see on top of this stuff is going to be insane, and it's going to be a function of that chemistry. Even if neither Isaiah is actually scoring the bucket, they're both going to be generating the bucket because of the gravity they're going to draw from that chemistry. It's going to be super interesting.
And the thing is, even with that back cut, when team, you mentioned that coming up and getting a 3 off of that or whatever, everyone on this team cuts. And that's not something you typically see. They get so many easy baskets from drive, cut, drive, cut, drive, cut. It's really impressive stuff. You guys have anything else from this game tonight? I feel like we kind of went through that pretty quick, which is okay. But other thoughts on the game or the road trip itself?
I have 2 really quick thoughts. First one, Kevin Porter Jr. is truly horrible.
Really bad.
And he plays.
Don't get Jacob started.
He plays like a substantial role in their offense, which I did not realize. Like, that was kind of shocking. Second thing, I know it's March, and this month usually is weird stuff happens in March. You don't always take things away. There's always like outliers statistically. Am I wrong to take something away from this game and that the Thunder can match up really well against non-traditionally like the Bucks are one of the biggest teams the Thunder will see. I just feel like this showed me something tonight that I will take away from it. Like, they can go big and also dominate.
I think that's a good point. And like, it's crazy looking at Giannis's stat sheet. He had a triple double, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, but only 7 of 15 from the floor, had 12 free throw attempts. Kind of crazy. I thought Shea was a free throw merchant. And still, I felt, to your point, Silva, I think iHeart and the bigs in general did a great job on Giannis. Just the Thunder defense as a whole. This is from Nick Gallo. The Thunder's defense held the Bucks to 20 of 49 40.8% on 2-point shots in tonight's game. Milwaukee is top 5 this season in field goal percentage and defensive field goal percentage, and OKC outshot them 52% to 40%. That's just incredible defense on the Sega Baba, on this tough schedule we've talked so much about. Like, I just think the biggest takeaway from tonight's game is that the energy levels were there, and that's so impressive, even when the Thunder are shorthanded.
I think Isaiah Joe and Kaysen Wallace are also really impressive tonight, but also going back to Detroit. Isaiah Joe's 5 of 9 from behind the arc tonight. And Queso on both ends of the floor. Queso looks super aggressive offensively to start this one after his best offensive game in a Thunder uniform against Detroit. And it's awesome to see. Like that guard rotation, we've talked so much about what the Thunder are maybe lacking, especially with injuries in the guard rotation. And I think seeing those two guys step up in the absence of Dub, in the absence of, obviously, extended absence of AJ Mitchell, really impressive stuff from those two. Isaiah Joe, what was the stat, Taylor? The most 3-pointers from a bench player in Thunder history?
So he has, the most threes ever at 389 made threes by a Thunder bench player.
That is,
hey, he's like 10% of the way to Steph Curry.
but like that stat hit me of like this Isaiah Joe, he's gone through a couple cold spells, but in general, he's exactly what the Thunder have needed since 2008. Right? Like literally the type of player that
Thunder.
Yes.
Right.
Like
that's crazy.
The type of basketball player that Oklahoma City Thunder fans have been wanting to see in that role for the entirety of their existence. And it feels like he's finally the guy, or at least a guy. He's filling that role really nicely and shooting the heck out of the ball.
He's been awesome.
Through some Daquan Cook erasure right now.
Listen, we tried to make lots of people that guy throughout the years.
Daquan Cook, Jeremy Lamb, Kyle Weaver.
Kevin Martin was probably the closest.
Kevin Martin could hoop.
He was good.
He could hoop.
Had an ugly jumper, but the ball won the hoop. So
one other name you mentioned, Justin, and I know there's just because there's been comments about him in the chat. Kaysen didn't have quite the scoring performance that he did last night, but still was extremely a positive, I think, for the starting lineup, especially 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He's been awesome. His offensive game is just improving each and every game that he plays, and it's just been so impressive, especially in Lou Dort's absence here over the past game and a half. Like, not enough positive things to say about Kaysen Wallace.
Kaysen Wallace has been a guy who's really impressed me lately. JD, what have you seen from him that's just, I don't know, kind of changing your perspective on him and the guard rotation in general?
Really, really optimistic about his on-ball reps and usage with J-Dub out of the lineup. Like, he's been doing a lot more creation on his own. Hit a really clutch bucket near the end of this game when Milwaukee was going on that run they went on. I've just been really impressed by what he's been able to do off the dribble. His scoring numbers aren't going to jump off the page. Last night they did, but Kaysen's, I don't know what his ceiling is yet. Did SGA call him Baby Drew Holiday or something like that in the post-game presser yesterday? Like, I just keep seeing more and more of that, and he's a guy there's a lot of guys I would say goodbye to in order to keep him on the roster. I know he's going to be an expensive extension whenever that comes down the road, but he's incredible.
Somebody on Twitter put together a mixtape of Kaysen Wallace blocking jump shots. That was the most exciting piece of cinema I've seen in a long time. His ability he's so lengthy to contest jumpers like anywhere on the floor. From literally like from middies to deep threes, he mucks it up on the defensive end, and that is so important to this team's defensive success.
And not only the length to block shots, but when you watch him defend point of attack on ball, he gets so low to the ground, and he gets that front arm out like into the dribble space, and it's just his arm is so long
Yeah.
I don't know. Nick,
Somebody
anything else
in the Discord watch party last night was saying it almost looks like he's trying to hold the ball handlers offhand while they're like that's how close he gets in there when he's playing defense.
For us, selfishly, I'm really glad that Casey Wallace decided to play basketball, but he would be a phenomenal football player, which is why Mark Daignault's comparison to him, his rookie season, coming into his rookie season, I think was so great. One other stat guy here, one other stat, best win percentage by a starter of all time, minimum of 50 games, Casey Wallace, 76.5%. And then Magic Johnson and Larry Bird behind him. All-time great, Casey Wallace. You've heard it here first.
That's insane.
Nick, any other thoughts? Casey Wallace thoughts, bench thoughts, big man thoughts, MVP thoughts?
I guess I'll go into MVP just quickly. It's over.
You heard it here first.
Next segment.
I mean, the next 3 to 4 weeks are going to be all about national outlets trying to make it a race. They have stuff to talk about. I just don't see a world where it's close at this point. Like, sure, Jokic could go on a heater the last 15 games or so and make it close, but like today on Sunday,
does a heater include losing to the Washington Wizards?
Twice.
It's going to get a confirmation there.
I mean, obviously not, but that's behind us. I'm talking in front of us. Like, he could, in theory, change the narrative, but today on March 16th, it's not close. Like, I think it's closer to being a unanimous MVP than it is actually being a race. And we always say this in the pod. Vegas doesn't know everything, but he's like minus 750 in Vegas.
They know how to make money.
That is like
exactly
the Thunder playing the Hornets, and it's the Hornets' worst 5 players are starting because everybody else is like it's like not close at all.
I think you bring up a good point too, Nick, and that, you know, the national narrative on Twitter, we all get stuck in that bubble at times. But I think where a lot of the frustration comes from is that it's not as close of a race as people hoped it would be. I think if it were much closer and the Nuggets were better in general, you're probably seeing a little more praise for SGA and not the foul merchant narrative. It's boring for these people, you know?
I did love the ESPN broadcast of the Thunder Celtics game where they said, Jason Tatum is also an MVP candidate. And I was like, brother, I am also an MVP candidate then. Like, what are we talking? Tatum's good, but and I don't gamble. I did twice. It went poorly. Won't do again. 0 of 10 would not recommend.
Time's a charm.
Yeah,
we might have that sounder.
That's how you get an addiction, JD.
I've never made a parlay in my life.
Do we have the other one?
Making another parlay in my life.
But I think Tatum is like a plus 5,000 in the MVP race. And I was like, I mean, we can call him an MVP candidate. I mean,
how far down the odds list you want to go before you make the cutoff?
4 or
exactly.
5.
It's a gulf. It's a Gulf of America sized gap right there.
My true belief is between 1 and 2, it's a pretty significant gap.
Yep.
I agree.
It's a little weird to me that Nuggets fans are still. Maybe it's not weird. I'd probably be doing the same thing. But Jokic already
100%.
has 3 MVPs.
Yeah,
he doesn't need a 4th.
Well,
Who needs a 4th? Who else has a 4th? LeBron?
Your team being good.
The way that I knew the MVP race was over was when Justin Termine was tweeting about how Jokic deserved MVP, and that was the moment I knew that this was done.
That's all Nuggets fans have to root for this season, Silva. Like, you can say they're a title contender, but they're not. I think that's what a lot of this comes down to. This Thunder team is just so frustrating to play against because of their style of play, what they built, the depth that they have. And you just have these fan bases that are super frustrated because they can't beat them. And they're a little jealous. They had to hear about all the plethora of draft picks that Sam had and how great the rebuild is and how they traded Paul George, who was declining and has been absolute garbage since the trade, for SGA, who's turned into a megastar. And like, I'd be jealous too if I were in an opposing fan base.
I think
Can I give you-
SGA should win MVP and then post a video of himself like shooting a horse.
What? Good God.
It's insane.
The
Just post the
maybe he
clip from
should
The
ru-
Godfather with the horse's head.
Or
That's probably what
Shea
J Dub will
Bison
do
Men
on his
style.
They
Instagram
should come
story.
out with like
Hey,
the
speaking of
horse
that-
head thing.
we have something. J Dub's Instagram story. He posted I'm not going to put it up to the screen because you guys probably can't see it, but it's of I Heart Dunking with B2A, which stands for Silva.
I have no idea.
Belt to ass.
I thought Silva was doing a bit.
No. B2A. The more you know.
B2A.
Hey, speaking of Taylor, you mentioned them being.
About a BLT.
I love a BLT. I love a BLT. I have a food question near the end of the podcast for you all, actually. But Taylor, you mentioned that teams are.
Why
getting, well, true. I have a actual basketball discussion point. Thunder are increasingly frustrating to play against, as we saw last night with JB Bickerstaff going on full tilt and essentially crying in the post game. Rylan Stiles had an excellent tweet this is the type of tweet that I dream about posting, a take that I would love to have of this level. Rylan says the free throw discourse helps OKC. It unravels teams. It's not rooted in facts, but it's all you hear about. So you go into a game defensive and unravel. Really good point, I thought. And got me thinking, this is a take that I have not finished in my head. I have not connected all the dots, but it feels like there's something here. And let me know. So dominant teams like the Warriors, I keep going back to them, the Warriors, teams of that nature, when you're getting your ass beat by them, it's not frustrating because you can easily see why it's happening. It's like they're raining threes and you just drown in that. The Thunder are a different type of dominant team where you're just they're so physical. And I think that's where the frustration comes from. And that's where my take dies. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to unpack why teams are so mad when they play the Thunder. Like why even tonight, Bucks fans chanting refs, you suck when they're up. They have like a plus 16 free throw differential at that point in the game. Like, I don't know.
It's hard for teams to replicate what the Thunder do on the defensive end of the floor. And because they're just not good at it. And so it can feel like the Thunder are was it Finch that said the Thunder foul every play?
Yep.
And it can feel that way. And so then you try to go lock up Shea, and the problem is that he's going to put you on ice skates, and you're going to put your hand in the cookie jar, and he's going to get you called for it. And like that adds up, right? I think you're exactly right, Silva. That builds because it feels like you can't keep up. Like you're trying to mimic the Thunder style, and it's impossible against them. And I just like the idea that maybe the Thunder are, waging like a cold information warfare against the NBA, and secretly they're the ones pushing the free throw narrative to spin teams out. That's where I thought your take was going to go.
That's incredible. They're paying
Big brain.
They got Russian bots on.
Yes. They have Sam Presti has a bot army of NBA Twitter accounts that are pushing this narrative.
Sam Presti's bot army is the one that came up with the what's the nickname? Shea
Griftius
Alexander. One thought before we move on.
It's a small bot army.
To very small. That's all I could afford with that Shea extension on the horizon. One thought before we move on to trivia. We haven't really talked about the Detroit game. Holy cannoli. Those 3 Shea plays to end the Detroit game.
So good.
Sent Asar Thompson up to Canada on the crossover, splashed the 3. The snatchback redrive crossover on Tim Hardaway Jr. that literally made the man put both hands on the ground. You don't do that to NBA players. And then the second snatchback redrive double clutch over Jalen Duren. Guys, I'm not kidding when I felt like I was watching AI. I felt like I was watching Iverson.
Yep.
With the crossovers, the snatchbacks, it felt very Allen Iverson-ish.
For all of our
just
young
that
listeners, AI means Allen Iverson. That's
not
correcting that
artificial
not.
intelligence. Go learn yourself something. Before we go to trivia, we're just gonna plug the crap out of Prairie right now, because before we go to trivia, we need to do a King of the Prairie for the night. We all have different kings. So JD, who is your king?
My king is Isaiah Hartenstein. Pretty good at basketball.
Justin, who is your king?
I'm going to stick with Alex Caruso tonight. He's my demon king.
Nick Crane, who is your king tonight?
I'm going to go Hart as well, just given the size of the Bucks. He was a big part of countering that.
Taylor Peterson, who is your king?
I would agree. iHeart is my king of the Prairie. I thought he was awesome offensively, but most importantly, he was fantastic against Giannis defensively.
Yep, I will go Hartenstein as well, but Justin, I appreciate the AC love.
Also receiving votes, Alex Caruso.
Yes.
Prince of the Prairie.
Yes, there it is.
I think,
De-
what did
Demon
I
Prince.
tweeted about AC tonight. I think I called him a feral mongoose,
I like that.
which
nice.
That's
kind of
good.
applies.
A bald feral mongoose.
The bald feral mongoose, the naked feral mongoose, if you will. Isn't that what you call an animal that's bald?
Yes.
Naked?
Mhm.
Naked mole rat.
Like a naked mole rat? What other animal would look good naked, JD?
Bigfoot.
All right, let's do some Prairie Trivia. Justin, will you tell us about
Can't
Prairie
top
beer?
that. Can't top that. Oh my! I'd love to tell us about Prairie beer.
Was
Y'all-
someone AI artificial intelligence, not Allen Iverson.
Someone call Allen Iverson.
Someone call Allen Iverson.
Full circle.
Get us a picture of a naked Bigfoot and then send it to the chat, please, so we can share it.
Anyway, tomorrow's St. Patty's Day, or today if you're listening to this tomorrow. Welcome to the future from the past. Prairie OKC for St. Patty's Day is, as you do, celebrating with some green beers. So they have some special green dyed Liberty Lager for only $3 tomorrow if you hit up the tap room. So go check that out. They also have Rhinestone Rancher, which is made with green apple Jolly Ranchers, which is on tap. It is not $3, but it is also green. So there's plenty of green beer available for your St. Patty's Day festivities at our friends Prairie OKC.
Justin, you have a sounder that reminds me of St. Patty's Day.
Someone's mailed a baby alligator to me, ex-wife. Yes, that's going to be stuck in my head all day tomorrow now. Thank you. Thank you, George.
Trivia.
Jacob can't speak.
Ghost of
This late night pod.
Ghost of Holmgren's Hip has the best, like, dude, whoever you are, like, DM me on Twitter so I can send you something. A shirt, a
That
sticker,
had
a Prairie gift card.
Jacob, Nick,
that
and I
is-
were the only ones who saw that.
That is,
Oh, no, I saw it. I just know how to keep it together.
Well done.
you can't keep it. That is out of pocket. Brother, if you're not in the Discord, please join. Woo!
Related. That's also Justin's nickname, the Red Rocket.
Listen. Can we do a trivia question? Hey, Taylor, do you have a whiteboard yet?
Have my handy
Boom.
notebook.
That nobody can read. Our trivia questions tonight come from the homie Thunder Chick. Shout out to Thunder Chick. I tweeted I posted in the
Nice.
Discord 20 minutes before the pod that we need trivia questions, and Thunder Chick came through.
Incredible.
So, thank you, Thunder Chick. Trivia question number 1, gentlemen. How many Thunder games this season have been decided by one possession?
Wins and losses?
Yes. I think so.
Are we revealing?
Everybody close your comments. Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. All right, let's see what we got. 7, 3, 3, and 2. That's impressive because you all got it wrong.
Ooh, on
The answer,
brand.
the answer is 4.
4.
Damn it.
4.
We were close, Silva.
So close. I'm horrible at trivia.
Thunder Chick is good at a theme. The next question, of those 4, how many were wins? How many were losses? Nick is going 2 and 2. Taylor's going 3 wins, 1 loss. Justin went 2 and 2. Silva also went 3 wins, 1 loss. You guys are not good at trivia.
It's less, isn't it?
0 wins,
0
losses.
Oh, God.
It's bad news for the playoffs, boys.
Don't let ESPN hear that.
I almost said 0, but it felt like too much. But that's this Thunder team. They're too much.
Means
The
they're
next-
4 possessions from being
Yeah.
like 59 and
Yeah,
8,
right.
or 60 and 8.
It's insane. Next one. Who are the teams that they lost
boy.
those 4 games to?
Goodness.
Oh boy.
Do you want a hint on this one since you guys are so bad?
Yes, literally no idea.
Well, I was going to give you a hint, and then I realized this is a really bad hint. I was going to say they're all Western Conference, but they've only lost to 1 Eastern Conference team, and it was the
Thanks
Cavs.
for narrowing it down.
They're all Western Conference.
I have
They're all
2.
Western Conference, and I think you guys would all put them on the list of teams you dislike.
Oh, okay. That helps.
Nick is going. Oh, Justin, are you ready?
Hang on. Okay.
Nick is going Spurs, Mavs, Rockets. Taylor, Rockets, Warriors, Nuggets, Mavs. Justin, Spurs, Mavs, T-Wolves, Rockets. Silva, Wolves, Mavs, Warriors, Rockets. The answer, Nuggets, Mavs, Rockets, Timberwolves.
Dang it. That was one
in
off.
that overtime game where they blew the 20-point lead.
That makes sense.
Bonus question. Oh, never mind. That I was gonna have a bonus question, but it was that I was gonna say which one was the most recent one, but it was that Minnesota game. So that would have been an easy one. Thank you guys for playing Prairie Trivia. Thank you to Thunder Chick for the questions. Thank you to Prairie Artisan Ales for giving these other 4 guys a lot of money to buy beer. And just being cool friends of the show. We really appreciate that as well.
Might
Quick
have
plug.
to get an in-person watch party in the works coming up
Yes.
as we head
I
toward the
agree.
playoffs.
We'll have one of those. Also, there was a request in the Discord tonight. Obviously, March Madness Selection Sunday was earlier today. And the Discord would like for us to host a March Madness bracket challenge. So we will be doing
Nice.
that. Be sure to go and subscribe. You can be a part of that. And I think we haven't completely talked about this yet, but I'm volunteering us to do some giveaways for some Prairie gift cards.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well,
If
we're
you win,
volunteering
maybe
you to
some
run the
uncontested
bracket,
swag.
Taylor.
That's
Yeah,
right. If
Taylor.
I win, more gift cards for me.
No, if you win, you get a picture of an AI-generated naked Bigfoot. We are going to take our break for the night. We will be back as you think about that. Welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance during that break to look up that AI image.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be.
I don't know why that was my answer to that question.
I know exactly why was that answer to that question. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Somebody put together an outline, and I don't have it pulled up, so I don't know what's next on the podcast.
Predictions.
Predictions. Let's do some predictions. How about that? Let's get a schedule pulled up. This is wonderful podcasting.
Would you like me to run through predictions?
Nope, I got it.
Great. Glad I could help.
Teamwork.
The Thunder get 2 days off. They really need it. And then they're home Wednesday, 7 p.m. to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Should they win, should they lose to help out that
Or
pick?
should they go?
JD, what happens Wednesday night in Paycom against the 76ers?
W Moneyball.
Now watch this drive.
No, you've already used that one before. You got to use a different
It's
one.
the perfect one.
No, use a different one.
All right, let's see. Let me think about this. I'm afraid this is. Hopefully this isn't too loud.
This shit means something to me, man.
Nope,
too
it's
loud?
perfect. Nope,
Great.
it's perfect. Justin, what happens at home against the 76ers on Wednesday?
I am also going Moneyball win.
This shit means something to me, man.
Taylor, 76ers Wednesday at home.
Win, but I'll save my money ball.
Nick,
Win.
I am going to go win. Just a win.
This is the most days off the Thunder have for almost the rest of the season.
Mhm.
For like the next 3 weeks.
And also the most that they've had almost since All-Star break.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
crazy.
They play every other night for like the next 3 weeks, I think.
Wow.
How many seasons will it take for the 76ers to win 76 games?
The limit does not exist.
No, I mean like cumulatively.
I was like, how many seasons till
A
anybody
long
wins
time.
76 games?
No, like cumulatively.
Starting today?
Starting with this season. They have what, 20 wins?
I mean, the over-under's 1.5. Like, will they do it next year? Maybe not. Will they do it the year after? For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 more years. It's going to take them 3 total years to get 76 wins.
Unless they trade off Paul George and Embiid.
For what?
Burn it down.
It might not be a bad idea.
You're not going to get anything for him. Can you imagine the casket you have to have for Joel Embiid? Can you imagine how long that body would take in a crematorium? Friday, the Thunder are at home again to take on the Charlotte Hornets. Nick, what happens with the Charlotte Hornets?
W Moneyball.
This shit means something to me, man.
Taylor.
Retweet.
This shit means something to me, man.
Justin.
Win.
JD.
Win.
I will go win. They finish off the week Sunday out west against the Los Angeles Clippers. Another 8 p.m. Central Time start, which means another really late podcast, which means maybe you guys will be here and maybe you won't. I don't know.
Maybe we'll talk about Bigfoot some more.
Well, we're going to have a portfolio of Bigfoot picks. Taylor, what happens Sunday in LA?
I'm a little torn on this one, but give me the W.
Justin.
I will also take a W.
JD.
I'll go W.
Nick.
I'm going to go loss. I think if the Thunder's going to rest some guys or get creative on that front, they'll probably not do it at home, given it's their home fans that pay money to see these guys play. But I could see a pointless road trip against the Clippers then Kings being one that you just like kind of give some guys some rest.
We did say that for this past 3-game road trip as well.
Yeah.
Give me the Moneyball win.
This shit means something to me, man.
Wow.
Bold.
Comments are unhinged.
The comments are,
They,
comments are insane.
they are wild.
It's midnight.
It is.
Do you guys ever think back and think like, we built a really cool podcast and look at the types of people we've attracted to this thing?
It tracks.
Would you
Truly,
trust these people
Like
to watch
looking in a
your?
mirror.
Would you trust these people to watch your child?
Absolutely not.
Just pure scum of the earth.
Hell no.
Speaking of scum, I saw there was an aquarium convention near my house this weekend. Didn't know that was the thing. First off, what caught my eye was it was called It was called like I'm gonna get it wrong. Something along the lines of like Reef Madness. And I was like, what is this convention? Turns out it's an aquarium convention. And there was a big truck parked out front with a like full on wrap.
Truck.
Full on wrap that said only fish. And it was the OnlyFans logo, but it said only fish. And then real small in the corner it said and coral. There's no point to that story, but I just felt compelled to share.
Wish it was reefer madness. Well, there was so much just happened. You guys just did big old trucks,
aquariums, marijuana.
Yeah,
Seems like they go hand in hand.
I think it was a cover. It was a cover for a weed convention.
JD, you had a food comment that you wanted to end the show on.
Yeah, I left the grocery store.
Would you like to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would. Left the grocery store today with a pound of fresh shrimp, and as I was leaving, I saw a Girl Scout cookie stand. And I was like, "You guys take card?" They said, "Yes, we take Cash App and Apple Pay and Venmo and everything."
Why do they sound like they're 80?
Yeah.
Well,
That sounds like the
limit on the
lady.
Girl Scouts.
No,
That sounds,
Girl
that
Scouts.
sounds like the lady from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Muriel,
Throwback.
Muriel.
and Eustace. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Okay, I'll go first.
Why did the pound of shrimp play into this?
I don't know. It felt like it was important content.
I appreciate the
He's
finer
trying
details.
to flex. Someone went to the store to get a pound of fresh shrimp.
Some lobster cell.
A pound of shrimp in this economy.
There ain't fresh shrimp in Oklahoma
Dude,
City.
hey, guess how much
That's
a
so
pound
true.
of shrimp cost me?
More or less than a dozen eggs.
$18.
No, it's $10.
Oh, so it's about a dozen eggs.
that ain't fresh shrimp, brother. I don't know what you just bought.
10 old bucks.
There's only two answers. There's two Girl Scout cookies that are far and wide the best two there is. One's the Thin Mint, the other's the Tag Along. Others are good, but those are in the tier of their own.
Which one are the tagalongs?
Those are the peanut butter
Chocolate
covered in the
ones,
chocolate?
Peanut butter chocolate.
With
Yeah.
a cookie.
Okay.
Yep.
Tagalongs.
Tag along is it?
Tagalong's the one.
However,
Although
I'm
JB
very-
got some
Yeah, the
brownie with caramel.
Very
Yeah,
intrigued.
and I forgot their name. By the way, my favorite are Thin Mints and Samoas. I'm not tagging along for shit. Adventurefuls.
Yeah, you
Sounds like an
would
adventure.
you would not buy the best Girl Scout cookie of all time to get some seasonal thing that's going to flare out in 2 years because no one bought them besides you.
I'm
there were a lot
intrigued.
in there.
Also, shout out the haters. We saved our bullshit commentary for after
Well,
the
we did
pod's
plenty
done.
at the beginning and in the middle and throughout the whole pod, and now we're just piling on at the end.
We are.
My hot take is that Girl Scout cookies are bad.
That's
Oh
fair.
my God.
I don't care
Do you
for
not like
them.
Girl Scout cookies, or do you not support the Girl Scouts?
No, like
You're
I
against-
will buy some to support them and like give them good business acumen and learn how to talk to strangers and things like that. But
Pause.
but they're not good is the problem. And
That's just not true.
so you mentioned tagalongs. Let me invite you onto a little secret, Nick.
Okay.
There is a cookie that is a tagalong knockoff that is
Okay.
sold at Aldi year round, every day of the week, sitting on
Okay.
shelves, and it's way better and a third of the price. And no
Okay.
offense to the Girl Scouts or old women that Silva ran into, but it's a lot better. It's a lot better.
Yeah, there's better cookies and snack. I'd rather get cosmic brownies off the shelf 365 days a week.
Now we're
Cosmic
talking.
brownies go
But
hard.
but we're talking about Girl Scout cookies here.
Listen, no, like I said, I will buy them. I will
So
buy
is
them.
Aldi trying to put the Girl Scouts out of business?
That's what, yes.
Well,
let's
Walmart
point the
has their
finger
own
at the right
knockoff.
enemy
Like
here.
the Thin Mints at Walmart are called like grasshoppers, and they're the exact same thing, and they are cheaper. But like you're ripping off some young person's future.
I'm still buying them.
You derailed
I'm
their
just
life.
think so.
saying
They'll
You know
be
what?
fine.
the Aldi ones are way better.
It's like
Yeah, do
asking
they-
Justin, "Who's your favorite NFL team?" And you're like, "Well, here's my favorite bowler." Like,
That sounds more interesting to me. Don't have a favorite NFL team.
you have a favorite bowler?
Sounds a lot better than being a
Mitch
Cowboys
McGarry.
fan.
Yes, Mitch McGarry.
It's a bowler in multiple ways.
We'll play the outro music. Hey, thank you guys for
Imagine
joining.
Justin opening the door. Go play a real sport, kids.
Listen,
Subscribe to the Patreon. We
Do
did
the
a
Girl
little
Scouts
Dicky-
win something if they sell the most cookies? Because
Yes,
some of
yes,
these
they
Girl
do.
Scouts are kind of wild. Like they're out there on the
Girl
street corner.
Scouts gone wild.
They're out there on the street corner with like a
Can't say
trailer
that.
full of cookies.
What
I can
else?
say that.
It's crazy. They're
Uh,
On that
real
note,
about it.
Hey, subscribe to the Patreon. We did an episode where we ranked Little Debbie's. You're missing that content.
We did. Someone in the Discord works for Little Debbie. Little Deborah, if you
what?
will. Nick, you need to get in the Discord, brother.
Wait, we got a cosmic brownie and oatmeal cookie plug in the Discord.
Yep.
yeah, we do.
We'll talk
Bruh.
offline.
I'll ping you on
You get-
Teams.
We'll circle back.
We'll touch
For
base.
my last note.
It's low hanging fruit.
All right. We're leaving. Bye.